This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome to Farm Factor. Up first today, Kyle Bauer visits with Jeff Seim about how Kansas wildlife parks and tourism work together with private landowners.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer visiting with Jeff Seim. Jeff works for it's a really long name, so I'm going to read it off your shirt, okay? I just call you Wildlife and Parks, but yeah. Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks, and Tourism. He's in the Wildlife Division, and he's a wildlife biologist in southwest Kansas. Now, in northeast Kansas, a lot of times that's involved with state-managed ground, but in your area of the state, not so much.
No, that's true. As far as how the state goes, we have extremely little public land in the west. Just a handful, maybe like around Clark, which is actually a state fishing lake. But after that, it's pretty much all private owned.
So you tell us a little bit about your background, how you got to that area.
Okay, so I'm from central Nebraska originally, and then I went to Fort Hays State for schooling. And then after that, I temped for the Department of Wildlife and Parks and Ecological Services for 2 summers. And then I got on full-time there out of Dodge after that.
So dealing with private landowners, your tack and track has to be different on how you get that accomplished.
That's true, because as opposed to public land projects, if we're doing something to enhance wildlife, I can't just jump on the state tractor and go do it. I have to work through the private landowner, and it's going to be a lot at his discretion too, or their discretion, because that rancher, if they're not interested in a certain practice, then it's simply not going to happen. So it's a little bit more, as we say, sitting down at the kitchen table kind of conversations to talk things over and get a feel for what people would be interested in.
I assume those folks call you, though. They have an interest when you show up. They're wanting to accomplish something.
Yes, they do. A lot of times they'll just have a question randomly. They'll call us and say, hey, what can I plant to enhance pheasant habitat? And then when the conversation gets rolling, there's a lot more options out there and a lot more potential programs that they can take advantage of to meet those needs or those desires of theirs for the wildlife.
Now, when you say programs they can participate in, is there actually some dollars that are available to private landowners?
There is actually. I'll move my sunglasses. Our Habitat First program is our state program specifically for habitat improvement for wildlife. And there is cost share available there, along with some labor sharing that can go on. And it can do anything that the landowner's interested in. It can be cedar removal or forb establishment, native grass establishment, cover crops, tree hinging for covey cover, planting of trees and shrubs for covey cover, or areas for deer to bed down in. We have a worksheet that all the state public lands or private lands biologists would have, and there's 18 or 20 practices.
So I assume if people want to try to work with you, the best thing would be to either call the state office or to look at the website.
That's correct. So our state offices are spread out across the state. So in the western part of the state, Hays has an office, and then Dodge are our big offices. And if you're looking to do things in the west, those would be the 2 places to call. And then our staff there would be able to get you into contact with the biologist that would be in charge of your local area specifically.
Visiting with Jeff Seim. He's a wildlife biologist with Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks, and Tourism. This is Kyle Bauer reporting. Back to you, Jamie.
Thanks, Kyle. Be sure to come back after these messages for this week's Kansas Soybean Update.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.